Hey everyone, this is Daniel from Phone Arena with one of the more notable handsets in recent memory, the Pico Projector laden Samsung Galaxy B. We handled the first Samsung phone with a Pico projector back in 2009, and then we had in 2010 the other Galaxy B with a 6 lumen projector, and its Air here is with 15 lumen, which is what standalone Pico projectors like case slip-ons for the iPhone 4 and 4S carry as well. But here we have it integrated here in the phone itself. It's graced with jolly orange colors here on the side, and is sure to attract attention as if it's a regular flashy teen-oriented phone for the color choice alone here on the sides. The phone is fairly chubby, but with a sturdy build, and by no means overly thick at half an inch, 12.5 millimeters. Considering what's inside, it's also not very heavy, a bit about 5 ounces, 145 grams. In fact, it feels and handles very well in the hand, thanks to the ergonomic tapered back here with patterned, non-slippery, soft touch plastic. Very nice to the touch. The only thing that hints at the phone's extraordinary capabilities is the slight bulge here above the 5 megapixel camera lens, which houses the Pico projector. There's an on-off switch here on the right hand side for the projector. You just long press it and turn the projector on, and then back off again. The power lock key is below it, and there's a micro SD card slot, very easy to access and swap your memory cards on the fly. The phone has 8 gigabytes of internal memory otherwise. Here on the left we have the other easy to access slot for the SIM card, so basically you don't have to open the phone. And the phone's back cover, except for swapping the battery, because Samsung supplies a spare 2000 mAh battery in the box. The left also houses the volume rocker and the audio jack. All the keys are very easy to feel and press with good feedback, including this home key underneath the display here. The handset's 4-inch LCD screen is with 480 by 800 pixels of resolution. Pretty decent for this 4-inch size. It sports shiny vivid colors and good viewing angles, but could use a little bit more anti-reflectance coating for easier sunlight legibility outside. Despite that its 400 nits of brightness are above average, the 233 pixel density is quite good and ensures there are no nasty surprises with pixelation, as you can see. We won't be spending too much time showing you the TouchWiz over gingerbread overlay, because you've seen it numerous times in other Samsung Android handsets. It runs very fluid here with the dual-core 1 GHz ST Ericsson Nova Thor processor, which has Mali 400 graphics integrated. Overall, no complaints from the interface behavior. The phone has 768 megabytes of RAM and 8 gigabytes of internal memory, of which about 4 gigabytes are user accessible. Let's have a look at the video player. It's important because you want to be projecting those movies with it. It's the usual TouchWiz video player that supports movies up to HD resolution with DivX X80 support right out of the box. Let's have a look at the music player, also the usual TouchWiz music player with songs and albums categorization by artist as well. There are a couple of equalizer presets. The phone, by the way, has a very potent loudspeaker, strong with crisp sound, which comes in handy when you're projecting somewhere. And finally, let's have a look at the browser. You can adjust the browser brightness directly from its interface. Let's try and visit Phone Arena. Pretty comfortable keyboard. Easy to type with one hand on this 4-inch screen. As you can see, the pixel density is enough, so even when completely zoomed out, you can still tell some of the titles. Double tap works fairly well, panning around to zooming. Overall, no complaints from the default Gingerbread browser here on the Samsung Galaxy Beam. Of course, you have full Adobe Flash support. Text reflow, the usual great Android browser we have on the Samsung Galaxy Beam. We know you're most interested in the software, the app that manages the Pico projector, so we're gonna go through its options one by one. The first one is for adjusting focus and rotation. At the various distances you can project from. You need different amounts of focus, so with this slider you're moving the motor inside the Pico projector and it adjusts the focus. You can rotate the picture, so if it's portrait on the phone, to be landscape on the wall in front of you and so on. This quick path function is pretty awesome. You have a pointer with which you can do presentations, attract the audience attention to something, and you can change the type of pointers to, let's say, a paper plane to spice things up, or you can draw directly on the screen here, depending on what you're projecting, and it will be shown on the wall in front of you, or the surface you're projecting at. You can erase it, you can choose different thickness for drawing, and so on. Pretty great feature. Then comes the visual presenter. It's basically like your write-on projector in school, and shows what comes through the 5-megapixel camera lens and projects it on the big surface in front of you. There's ambience mode. Here you can choose to show animation, wallpaper, gallery, videos, and so on for a certain duration, and play some nice background music to create certain atmosphere, which can come in handy at times, considering you can blow this picture up to 50 inches on the wall. You have a torch with adjustable brightness and 4 colors depending on the LED that is switched on inside the projector. You can set it at blinking speed to attract attention when you're in a storm, for example. And one of the coolest here is breathing. You can set up an alarm for a certain amount of time from now. Let's set it for 14:25, let's say, or 26 already, and have it be repeated every day with the weather and news shown like that. Okay, we have this one set up for 2:26, and when the time comes, the phone will unlock the screen and to start projecting on the wall in front of you the current news, the weather, the time and date, and so on. There are a couple of settings here for the projector brightness, screen timeout when it should be locked, and the initial orientation, as well as a few helpful tips. And this is the projector app, very helpful. Now just wait for the briefing option to come on. As you can see, it will work even if the phone screen is locked. Now the projector comes on and starts projecting. You can't see it here, of course, but it's projecting, and you have news, weather, and time and date projected on the wall in front of you when you wake up, for example. Pretty handy. All the usual bells and whistles coming with the transparent interface menu of TouchWiz are present on the Galaxy Beam. including smile shot and panorama mode. As you can see, there's also a couple of the usual scene modes and color effects that come with the TouchWiz camera interface. The pictures came out pretty good, slightly off more to the yellowish and warmer side than needed, but exhibiting a good amount of detail and a sharp looking photo otherwise. Indoors, the flash did an average job illuminating from about 3 feet the scene, but there were no nasty surprises in terms of shadows or weird white balance. The 5 megapixel shooter with LED flash on the back of the Samsung Galaxy Beam only records video with HD 720p definition, not the 1080p type we'd expect from having a dual-core processor. And the video also has this warm yellowish overcast, but the footage is otherwise crisp and it runs with smooth 30 frames per second. It is fascinating how Samsung's researchers managed to stuff all these LEDs inside the small projecting unit in the Galaxy Beam and still achieve a watchable picture that can be blown up to 50 inches, as if you carry your own big screen TV in your pocket. Naturally, the resolution and brightness can't replace a TV experience, but under the right circumstances, overall you can definitely enjoy a movie or two on the go together with many other people around you, and that's the Galaxy Beam's key feature. To top it all off, the phone is a very good all-around Android performer with a fairly compact and appealing design, considering what's inside. Moreover, the large battery comes in handy to deliver excellent endurance in your daily smartphone routine as well, and there's one extra battery in the box. The only big drawback is that the phone doesn't come with the newest Android on board, but ships with Android Gingerbread. And there's no word from Samsung if and when it will be updated. As for the price, it costs about the same as a high-end Android handset, considering that a separate Pico projector case for your smartphone with the same NHD resolution and 15 lumen specifications costs around $200. The phone actually seems pretty reasonable, with a pretty reasonable price. All in all, just like in the case of the Nokia 808 PureView, the Beamer is in a category of its own, a niche device for enthusiasts, yet it carries the better Android OS, also doubling as a normal mid-range smartphone. And next we're expecting from researchers to come up with a phone that is capable of doing holograms, but unfortunately it's probably quite a lot of years off. This was a video review of the Samsung Galaxy Beam from Phone Arena. For more information about this and other handsets, you can visit us at phonearena.com. Thanks for watching.